And good morning, it's 10 o'clock. Welcome to the Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. And as usual, we've got a great show lined up for you today. The first half of the show, we're going to talk about the Mardi Gras, the Mainstrasse over in Covington, Kentucky, coming up on February 1st and 2nd. That's the first half of the show, and I smell some good smelling food. And on the second half of the show, Christopher Smitherman, president of the local branch of the NAACP, will talk about the school tax levy. The NAACP says yes, vote yes on the school tax levy, and also want to talk about the promotion of Officer Caton. You know, he was one of the officers involved in the Roger Owensby Jr. case, and now he's a sergeant. He was fired by the police department and rehired, and now, guess what? He's a sergeant. Go figure. We'll talk to Chris Smitherman about that on the second half of the show. You want to stick around for that. You better believe it. All right, in the studio with me, Donna Kremer and my good friend Walt Scarborough. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Just fine, Lincoln.
Thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about the Mardi Gras coming up over in Covington.
Well, this is our 12th annual Mardi Gras. It's a street festival. We try our best to be like New Orleans for a couple nights. We have great parades both nights, great entertainment, and great food.
And the crowds are unbelievable there, especially when the weather's good, the crowds are, and hopefully we'll have good weather this year for that, because I passed by there a couple of times and the crowds are unbelievable.
We have a maximum of 6,000 people each night for Mardi Gras, and we're hoping to sell out both nights. And that is a nice crowd.
Now, what's some of the activities that take place over there?
On Friday night, we have the Big Head Parade. That starts at 8 o'clock. And on Saturday night, we have the Grand Parade at 8 o'clock also. And as soon as the parades are over, the entertainment in the big tent starts. We'll have great Cajun food. We'll have plenty of beverages. And all of our restaurants and bars are involved too. You can go from bar to bar to the tent and back again and just enjoy the entire evening.
And plenty of food.
Plenty of food.
And that's where Walt Scarborough comes in. Now, I tell you, you're going to have a booth set up there, and what's going on in Europe?
Lincoln, we're going to have some food that is truly an existential effort in the art of culinary genius. We'll have black and red fish, sticky chicken, mojo greens, red beans and rice, crawfish that are incredibly delicious. They're big, crawfish this big. Have you ever seen a crawfish this big?
No, I haven't. And I might run if I saw one.
We're growing some that way. Donna forgot to mention that the large tents are heated. So it's a little chilly, don't mind that. Come on inside. The food is available inside as well as outside. Come in and enjoy yourself. It goes until about 1 o'clock in the morning each night. And the crowds, she says, they only have room for 6,000 people. And as Lincoln, you mentioned, that if the weather is good, it will be grand and an overflow crowd. So be sure to get there early.
Now, and like you say, this is sort of like the Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and I see you got some beads here, and I've seen the Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and I know what people would do to get these beads.
You don't need to do that at Mainstrasse with Mardi Gras. Beads are there for everyone.
Yes, okay. But, you know, they can become valuable near the end of the night, so we'll see what happens with that. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back, and you've got some food stirring up over there, huh?
Yes, Candy's busy doing the beans and rice just now, and everything's just about ready. We'll have some extraordinarily different things there. We've got a little shark.
Okay, well, we'll come right back and we'll check that out in a moment right here on Lincoln Ware Live, back in just a few. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. And Walt Scarborough is cooking up a meal. Now, you're going to have all this at the Mainstrasse at the Mardi Gras on February 1st and 2nd. Okay, first of all, tell us, what do we have here? What's this right here?
This is jambalaya. Jambalaya is an existential effort in the art of culinary genius. I dare say it's the most salubrious bill of fare you've had an opportunity to partake of in these ensuing days of your youthful adult life. It has many different facets of it.
Yeah, can we get a shot of that?
The vegetables encompass everything from onion to small potatoes and what are these things? Those things are tomatoes, okay. It's made up with a nice sausage base, which contains a nice Jimmy Dean sausage and an andouille sausage.
Oh, it smells delicious.
It's delicious. Over here we have crawfish. Lincoln, give those crawfish a little stir for us.
Okay, what do you want me to use?
Yeah, just pull
This
one
right
of those
here?
out. That's fine.
This right
Give them
here?
a little stir from
Okay,
the
we gotta
bottom.
stir 'em up.
While
Oh,
I'm reaching
yeah.
for this one thing, okay?
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
very much. You stay there just a second. Let me get this out here. Okay. This is one of the things right here that we're most famous for. And I'd like to say famous for because everybody eats black and red fish.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have black and red fish as well as a little bit of shark. Shark.
Oh, that shark meat is good.
Yeah, shark is definitely delicious. As you see, we put this in like this, put a little spices on it, let it sear and simmer for a while. Over here we have red beans and rice.
Oh, yeah.
Red beans and rice is made up of beef, onions, beans, peppers, and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. That looks good.
That's
No wonder the whole crew is here this morning.
Ah.
Everybody's ready to eat. I tell you, I can't believe it.
And we're making enough for the whole crew, too. The whole crew is going to be everybody at Mainstrasse on February 1st and 2nd.
I tell you, if you've got some recipes, maybe if you want more information, give us a call, 381-3838 or 651-3838, and we'll talk to you in just a few minutes. That's 651-3838 or 381-3838 if you want to jump on board. Maybe you remember Walt Scarborough from back in the day, and boy, now, I mean, this guy can cook up some food, and it smells great. Now, what are some of the other foods that they might have over there? Do you have any idea?
The only other restaurant will be there is La Rosa's. La Rosa's will be serving pizza. As you well know, La Rosa's is one of the foremost purveyors of Italian food in the area.
Yeah.
But here, we're going to do strictly Cajun stuff.
Oh,
as we mentioned over here, we're going to be putting such things together. Ah, yes, for a moment there, I thought you were going to go with the whole spoon.
No, I'm not going to do that.
And as I said, we're going to be putting such things together as the shark steaks, which are very delicious. We just got some here, and they'll be put on during the second part of the steak. As you notice, they're beautiful. Look at that. They're beautiful. We'll do these on the second part.
Where could you buy the shark steak?
When we buy it, we order it by the hundreds of pounds. This isn't like going into the corner grocery store and
say,
saying,
give me some shark.
No, you don't want to go into Avondale and ask for shark. Okay. They'll pull out the local loan shark and get them to you. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
As it goes, we're going to put some things in here, such as peppers and onions. Carrington, may I have just a little bit more oil in here, please? Okay, just on this side.
Remember the phone number, 381-3838, 651-3838.
Would you add the okra? Would you add the okra to the gumbo?
Nothing like having some okra.
Okay, that's good.
Good old okra.
Good.
Oh, is that enough?
Yeah, that looks pretty.
We'll mix it up in there. Oh, yeah.
That looks very pretty. Now, since this fish is taking a little while to cook because we want to go at it slow because the program goes a half hour.
Oh, yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to put in a little sausage right in here.
All right.
Because we're going to put that sausage in with the red beans in just a minute. Here, take this and just chop it a little bit while you're there. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing very well. And in a moment, when you come back, we'll have a nice plate made up here so they can get a good shot of actually what they're going to see, okay?
Let's
great. Dump a little bit there, please. Just a few pieces will be fine. There you go. Okay, thank you.
All right, in just a few minutes, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and take your phone calls and talk to you about some of the events going on, and who knows, maybe we can take a few of those beads home with us and see if we can put them to get you. Or maybe the producer, May Beavers, will come out here and help us out. We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back. Lincoln Ware Live right here, back in a moment. And we are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. And Walt Scarborough is still over there getting that meal together. Donna is still here with me. Now, how much are tickets, Donna?
Tickets are $10 each night if you order online, pre-sale. The night of, they will be $15. And since we do have a limit on attendance, you might want to call ahead or go online and get those tickets in advance.
All right. Let's go to the telephones, 513-651-3838 or 513-381-3838. And don't forget, coming up second half of the show, NAACP President Chris Smitherman will be my guest. We'll talk about the NAACP's backing of the Cincinnati school tax levy. We'll talk about Sergeant Caden. How do you get fired, rehired, and then promoted? Man, they must have a great contract with the Cincinnati Police and the FOP. Unbelievable. All right, let's go to Mary. Mary, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, and I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
I know you are. You're looking awful handsome.
Well, let me move the screen so you can see me a little better. Okay, how about that?
Well, did your wife pick you outfit, or did you pick it?
I picked it today.
That's beautiful.
How about that?
Well, I like you in blue anyway.
Oh, boy.
I want to say, you sure not a cook?
Huh?
I can tell you're not a cook because you wasn't stirring the pot right.
Oh, please.
You're supposed to stir at the bottom. You just stirred right on top.
I was at the bottom.
No, you was just doing it from the top. I saw you.
You couldn't tell from TV.
I was looking at you, and I'm a cook, so I know a cook when I see one. And don't you eat too much. Look like your jaws is getting big. Are you gaining?
I'm supposed to be losing weight. I got a trainer now, Eric E.T. Thomas. I'm working out with him, former Bengal. So you said my jaws are getting a little fat.
Yeah, so don't you eat too much, because all that's good fattening food.
Oh, boy. All right.
Have a good one here.
All right, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for your call. It's always good to hear from Mary. Rhonda, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good morning. I'm sitting here laughing. I worked for Walt before.
Oh, yeah?
And he's a card. I noticed that he had you as one of his assistants.
Yes.
He's such a taskmaster.
I tell you, how about that? You know, he had me cooking that good old Cajun food there.
Yeah, don't let him work you.
I tell you, it smells good. It smells good.
Yes, he's a good cook.
Oh,
but don't let him work you, because he will.
All right.
I would love to see him put up a number for if there's any jobs available.
Yeah, are there any jobs available for the Mainstrasse?
Not right at this point, but you're always welcome to check in and see if anything is available.
All right. Thanks for your call.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Rhonda, let's go to Maria. Maria, how are you? Maria. Hey, Maria, turn your TV down.
It's down.
Okay, what's on your mind?
I want to know if you all come to cater my party.
Do you do catering, Walt Scarborough?
Of course we do. We do the best catering in the world.
He said
we
he's got
become your servants.
I need that number.
We'll give a number. Do you have a number handy, Walt?
Yes, sir. Our number is area code 513-225-1137.
It's right there on the sign right behind him. See that sign up there?
Yes, now I see it.
Okay.
Y'all have a
and
nice
it's on the
night.
screen now. Okay, give him a call, and he'll cater your party.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right. I tell you what, it smells great, and people you said they need to get their tickets probably in advance just to be safe, because they will cut it off when it gets too crowded.
It will cut off at $6,000 each night, and I have a website. It's www.mainstrasse, that's spelled mainstrasse.org, O-R-G. You can go to that website and order your tickets in advance.
All right. Now, Walt, looks like you've got a plate already ready to go over there.
Yes.
And I tell you what, did you bring any spoons? I need to taste some of that.
Without a doubt.
I can't go any longer without tasting some of that, because it smells so good. And I do want to try some of that shark meat. That shark looks real good also.
The shark is the second part of your show.
Oh boy, this looks good. This is. I just have to taste some of this.
It's hot.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
We're
folks,
ready to
witness
throw
the
down.
fact that he didn't fall over dead, so it's good to eat.
I'm ready to go. Now this is great. This is the type of food that you'll find February 1st and 2nd, and get your tickets in advance. And is there a phone number to call for tickets?
The phone number is 859-491-0458.
All right. This is great. people need to take advantage of this. Go on over there, have yourself a great time.
Sure.
Now, how do they get beads? Will beads just be handed out over there?
The floats will all have beads,
Okay.
and all you have to do is say, "Throw me some beads." That's all
Right.
you need to do.
There
Just
you
say
go.
you want beads,
There
and
you
you'll
go.
have beads.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
And
now
they'll have plenty.
We got some photos of some of the past Mardi Gras. Can we show those? Can we show those? Are they ready to go? I don't think so. Maybe not. There we go.
That's a shot of our big head production line.
Okay.
We've got 39 big heads ready for this year's parade. And that's a shot of one of the past parades with a float and big heads and all the people waiting for their beads. That's some more parade footage.
And that's pretty much the same.
That's
shot
the
there.
Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
This year, our special group is going to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the
Okay.
new big heads.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to step back over here with Walt and see what's cooking here. Looks like some shark is there. Now what is this right here?
That's jambalaya.
That's the jambalaya. Now that is, oh, this is good.
Jambalaya
I
is
love
good
that.
because it has a combination of many different not products, but many different foods in it.
Now what is that we're looking at right there, Donna?
That was a shot of the big entertainment tent.
Okay.
This year on Friday night, Coverblind and Kristen Key will be alternating. And on Saturday, Patsy's Decline will be playing. So we've got some good entertainment
Okay.
lined up this year.
All right. And Walt, everything looks great. That shark, oh boy, it's tender too.
Shark is tender. It's
Looks real
always
tender.
tender for you. Yeah?
Looks real tender.
This is good stuff. It make your jeans fit real good too.
Now the red beans and rice, is that ready?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Beans and rice.
I didn't get
need
any
to
of that on this plate. I'm going to fill this plate up before the show is over because
let's get to the bottom.
I looked at the
as
staff.
As the lady said, you didn't get to the bottom, so let's
Yeah.
get to the bottom on this.
the staff here looks pretty hungry, and I got a feeling that I'm not going to be able to get any once they dig in here because
What you need to do is take a little bit of this. We put a little taste of this on.
Oh,
we
boy.
call this, what do we call
That
this
hot?
stuff?
I like it hot.
Oh,
I like it hot.
wow, he likes it hot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, folks, let's make it hot
That's
for him.
good. There you go.
There's a happy face for him.
there we go. I like it hot. That's for
There
sure.
you go. That's good. On Monday, you'll call home and you'll say, honey, put the Charmin in the refrigerator. That's
This
good
looks
stuff.
great. All right, don't forget February 1st and 2nd, and tickets are $10. Plenty of food, entertainment. Only about 6,000 tickets, so you better get them early. And it's going to be a great weekend for the Mardi Gras. You're going to have do they call it the parade? What do they call it?
Parade
The
of
Big
Big
Head
Heads.
Parade
Big Head
on
Parade,
Friday
okay.
and the Grand Parade on Saturday. Great floats, great big heads, great time for everybody.
All right. Hey, Walt, I'm going to let you finish with this shark here. We're going to take a break and get ready for Christopher Smitherman. And the food continues to cook. Boy, that shark looks good.
The shark
Man.
is delicious.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and hear from Chris Smitherman right here on Lincoln Ware Live. We'll be, boy, it's hot. You better believe it. It's making us sweat. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. And as promised, my guest, the second half of the show, none other than Christopher Smitherman, president of the local branch of the NAACP. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, Lincoln, thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Good to see you. The phone numbers before we get started: 513-381-3838 or 651-3838. We added extra lines because there was such a popular demand for people to get here on this show. So we got more lines than you can imagine. Just call either of those numbers and you can get in. On Thursday night, the main body of the NAACP took a vote, and you voted to back the school tax levy.
Yes. It's a 7.89 mils 5-year emergency levy, Lincoln, for the Cincinnati Public Schools. Some facts about that: it's going to generate about $54 million of revenue. It's critical for our Cincinnati Public Schools, but to put a face behind it, 34,000 children use our Cincinnati Public Schools. 42,000 CPS is responsible for, and that 7,000 student difference are the charter schools.
Okay.
And it cost about $40 million that the Cincinnati Public Schools must send over to support those 7,000 students. So the levy is absolutely critical. They're facing a tremendous deficit. They're going to have to cut already $26 million. If the levy fails, there will be a $54 million cut. And there's been discussion, Lincoln, about should the state take over? Or should the state be funding it? Yes, the answer to that is the funding source isn't right, but that has nothing to do with getting this levy passed on March the 4th. And we're urging, our members took a vote, and now as the president, we're really urging people to support this levy, to support 34,000 kids.
And I know on my radio show, there's been so much outcry saying we don't need any more new taxes and we're just throwing more money and it's not fixing the problem. Well, how do you respond to a person? People, they closed down, they fired everybody at Taft Elementary because they've been failing for the past 9 years. So how do you convince a person that says, what are they doing? And they want more money. They're not doing anything.
Well, it's about $260 per 100,000 or $250 per 100,000 if you own a home. And Lincoln, the bottom line is people, I don't want to say how people spend their money, but we waste $250.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And over a year's time. What are we talking?
Yeah, over a year's time. People golf that in a weekend. My point to you is that there are 34,000 children that are depending on these resources. The NAACP took a position saying we didn't support a jail. So we don't support incarceration because that costs money. Now we're saying we support education because that's cheaper and it's better for our society. So it's a very consistent public policy direction that the NAACP has. And I'll ask those people who say that, either you want to support a jail for incarceration that's going to cost you more money, or you're going to spend time educating our children and making sure that they don't end up in jail. And that's really the message.
And that's a pretty good message. 513-381-3838. 651-3838. Let's go to the telephones and let's get our first caller. You won't believe who this caller is.
Who is that?
Gleno.
Oh, welcome, Gleno.
Gleno, how you doing?
A pleasant good morning to you and to Brett as well, and to your viewing and listening audience.
Well, thank you, Gleno.
Well, first, let me say I have no objections to the NAACP giving a vote on supporting a school tax levy. That's number one. That's above all.
Yeah.
It is a procedure to which they went about doing so. The general public, myself included, and as a member, a concerned member, did not get notice until almost the last minute. If the NAACP had contemplated on having a complete audience, they should have had some form of publication, either in the Enquirer, the Cincinnati Herald, the Buzz, or other radio stations out there. We did not. I maintain, and I have no way to support my premise on this, that the people who wanted the tax to be made possible, or the vote to be made possible in their behalf, were the ones who were attentive at that meeting. They're the ones who basically called the NAACP board and said, let's have a meeting concerning this taxation. We will bring people out there to vote for it, speaking in behalf of it. Now again, call another meeting before it's over with, and to the general public, go back to your regular meeting place and find out the pros and cons and how the people stand.
I don't know if that's necessary. Do you think that's necessary?
Whether it's necessary or not, whether it's necessary or not, I'm suggesting it.
We heard your commentary. Now let us respond. Thanks, Gleno.
It's not accurate, Lincoln. We held a meeting, I want to say it was a week and a half or 2 weeks prior. We began to communicate the change of location from Thomas More. But most importantly, anybody who came to Thomas More, we had someone there directing them to the next location. We had over 100 people at our membership meeting. We typically have about 150 people, but that was more due to weather because it was the coldest night of the year. We electronically communicated to as many members as we could the change of venue, but most importantly, we were on site. So if Gleno had showed up over at Thomas More for the meeting, he would have been directed with a person in the parking lot to go to Temple Bible College. So it's not necessary to do that. And the vote was overwhelming. I mean, I want to say it was 55 or 60 to 4 or 5 people.
And you also had the superintendent there. You had other officials from the school.
Oh, the superintendent was there, the president of the school board, Eve Bolton, Chris Nelms, the vice president, and Tim Kraus, who is the president of CFT, was also present. So it was very well attended. We spent from around 6:20 p.m. until 7:20 p.m. discussing the issue. So we gave it an hour on our agenda and then took care of everything else, and we finished at about 8:05 or 8:07. So, you know, Gleno is just not accurate.
Yes.
And I want to say also the buzz on several occasions acknowledged that there was a meeting change for our location. So it did go across the buzz.
All right, let's go to Marie. Marie, you have a question?
Well, yes, I noticed that they've been doing what I would call it house cleaning, and in this issue with Taft School in Mount Auburn.
Yeah.
Okay, I may be a little off track because I just tuned in. Okay, have you all ever considered, since we've taken it this far in education, and we all seem to feel that education is important, that is our foundation. Without it, we can't go anywhere.
That's right, Mary.
I do a lot of volunteer work around Cincinnati. I do an awful lot of work with families and children, problem families.
Come on, Mary.
Okay, here's the point I'm trying to make.
Marie.
Now, the foster care parents, they're being tested for drugs. Everyone is being tested for drugs. Do you think that there's a program where we can test the teachers for drugs?
Okay, well, I don't know if Chris is able to answer that question.
Well, what I can share with you that I think takes us down that path is that the superintendent from the meeting that we had on Thursday, the membership requested 3 areas that they would work on. The superintendent secretary called the next day, scheduled or is in the process of scheduling a meeting for next week. So we're going to begin, the NAACP is going to begin to engage their leadership in a real thoughtful way about how to improve the system. But it's just like this, Lincoln. When there are riots that happen in the street, it's always amazing to me that African Americans involved in riots burn their own houses down, burn their own businesses down. That makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
34,000 children are in Cincinnati public schools. 70% of those children are African American. I haven't met a person, you might have, but I have not met a person who has not been touched by Cincinnati public schools. Either they have a niece or nephew that's in the system or a graduate of the system, or they have a teacher, someone who works for the system, a security officer who works there. So I don't know anybody personally who's African American that has not been touched by Cincinnati public schools. So it's imperative for us to make sure that we support this school levy on March the 4th. And I say we should be voting yes on issue 10 and making sure that it passes.
And what happens, okay, you say if it doesn't pass, then they're going to make drastic cuts.
Lincoln, there is no question that there will be over $50 million in cuts.
Which means there'll probably be larger classrooms.
There will be teachers that's right, larger, because the teacher ratio will change. There will be less resources. Anywhere you find a band or an art class, assume it won't be there. And the sad part about this is that I don't think those cuts will go across equitably, meaning I don't think that Walnut Hills will be impacted the same way.
Or a school for creative and performing arts.
Which is where I am a graduate. nor do I think that Walnut Hills will get impacted the way Woodward High School will be impacted. So we really need to focus in on this and understand. And I come before you, Lincoln, as a young African American leader who has looked at this issue and really urging people to vote yes on issue 2.
And I say the same thing
on
every
issue
day
10,
on my radio show. I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Education is key. And they may not be doing the job that you want them to do, but we got to give them the resources to at least try.
And let's talk about that, Lincoln. Don't you think it's fair for us to have a discussion about the parental involvement and that the parents aren't engaging the schools the way they should be engaging them? All of the blame of what's going on in the school, if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say it's 30% the teachers and 70% the parents.
Easy.
So if someone's going to call and engage the NAACP about what's going on in Cincinnati public schools, I always ask the question, what is going on with our parents, and specifically our African American parents? So again, we urge our community to vote yes on 10 and have a thoughtful discussion about how we're engaging our CPS school system.
And I'll tell you, another key component is preschool. A lot of these kids are starting kindergarten, and they're starting off behind.
No question.
And they never catch up.
No question.
And that's when you run into problems.
That's right.
They never catch up. All right, let's go to Ebony. Ebony, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Good.
Hi, Ebony.
Hello. I'm a part of, I graduated from Cincinnati Public Schools. I went to Washburn Elementary on Land Street, which is now CCPA. When I went there, it was a merit school. The principal was Jennifer Cottingham, and she really, installed values in us. You know what I mean? It was like, you're going to be successful because I'm going to make you think that you're successful now, so you will, in all reality, become successful. If you think it, you will become it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And anybody that graduated from Washburn can tell you the motto that she installed in us every morning, and she made us want to become successful. These kids, the parents can only do so much, because once we turn them to Cincinnati Public Schools, they're out of our hands until they come home. And once they come home, it's like you try to keep in touch with the teacher, but she got so many students in her class, she can only get back to you when she can.
Well, Ebony, one of the experiences that I have when I go in and I speak quite frequently in our Cincinnati public schools is a lack of discipline from our young people. Even when I'm speaking there, I'm having to ask them to refocus on me as a speaker. I remember I won't name the school, but I was there giving a motivational talk, and a fight broke out in the hallway. Now, I'm there telling them about reaching their highest potential. I had these students' full attention, and then over here, a fight breaks out.
And then you lost them there.
Exactly. My point is that when the teachers are calling the homes and saying, I have a problem with Christopher.
Not my Christopher.
Not my Christopher. So how are we engaging our young people? And I understand what Ebony is saying, that our kids are going to the schools, but what kind of backup are we giving those teachers inside of that classroom?
True, because it's never, every parent wants to think they have the best kid in the world, but maybe they need to go up there and just peep through the window
and take a look.
Take a look and see what's going on.
And then when you see what's going on, what actions, what proactive moves are we making as parents to make sure that every child in that classroom has an environment of learning?
Right. And then that's the problem. The kids that are there who want to learn, they can't for the 1 or 2%
that are there. And I'm glad you said a small percent. And let me make one other point. When we meet with the superintendent this week, Lincoln, we are trying to put our money and our resources with what we're talking about. I have asked the superintendent to talk to us about a school that the local branch, the NAACP, can adopt. That came up at our meeting, so that the NAACP will adopt a school just like Cincinnati Bell adopted a school, so that we roll our sleeves up and say, can we turn around the test scores? And we don't want an easy school. We want a school where there is a problematic, and then they take the handcuffs off us, and let us go in there and do what you can do. Do what we can do.
Hey, that sounds like a good idea. I think we need to take a break, and then we'll come right back. 513-651-3838. That's the lines that are available now. The other ones are all filled. 651-3838. That's the number if you want to talk to Christopher Smitherman. We'll be back in a moment.
Thanks, Lincoln.
And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. My guest, Christopher Smitherman, president of the local branch of the NAACP. A couple of weeks ago, Officer Caden got a promotion, became a sergeant. He was involved in the Roger Owensby Jr. Situation. He was fired by the police department, went to arbitration, got his job back, than a promotion. It's like being promoted for wrongdoing.
There's no question, Lincoln. This is everything that's wrong with Cincinnati, and this story has now made national news. So national circuits are now talking about Officer Caton's promotion. And this real sad part about it was that he was promoted on the eve of Martin Luther King's birthday.
Yeah.
So you know, that's that insensitivity that you're going to promote him. This is a gentleman, if people don't know the story, who murdered Roger Owensby Jr., who was a military veteran. It's my understanding you're a military veteran. It was a mistaken identity. Caton was the key player in that murder. Him, Officer Caton, and Officer Jorg. He got 3 or 4 years of back pay, and now has been promoted to sergeant because they said he passed a test. And these are the kinds of things that really send and polarize our community.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it, and I'm going to say this, that I'm very disappointed that we have not heard from white leadership on this issue. You know, they're always calling out African American leadership. Where's the white leadership to say this is absolutely unacceptable and bad for our community?
Because they always tell us, where are your leaders? What are your leaders saying?
Correct.
You're right.
Correct. So now we have a man who's cost the taxpayer $6.5 million, which is a real number that this council settled and gave because of the murder of Roger Owensby Jr., and you all just promote him to sergeant.
That's unbelievable.
We're headed to City Hall on Wednesday to really bring comment and make sure that on the record that all 9 members of council and the mayor know that the NAACP, that we think that this is unacceptable, and possibly introducing a resolution at our national convention, making this a national issue of a discussion about the promotion of Officer Caton.
Wow.
So I really hope that Cincinnati is listening and that this council goes on record saying that this promotion was absolutely unacceptable.
So you want people to come to City Hall Wednesday at 1?
Wednesday at 1 o'clock to be there. If they want to speak, they need to be there about 1:45 to 1 in order to fill out a card. But if we don't show up and actually physically say that this is unacceptable,
they'll say they don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah.
And this is very critical as a former member of council. So this is going to be a will, and I'm asking all of our members. Gleno just called in, who is a member. Gleno, wherever you are on any issue, this is an important issue, and I hope that you'll show up to council to say that this is unacceptable.
All right, 651-3838. That's the number. Let's go to Michelle, Eric, then Bernadette. Michelle, how are you? Michelle.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good.
What's your question?
My question is for Mr. Smitherman.
Hi.
You got to turn your TV down. It's confusing you.
Okay. My question is for Mr. Smitherman.
Yes.
What is it about them closing all these schools? What are they going to build once they close them?
What schools are you talking about?
I'm talking about Parham, Hoffman, Holmes. What's the purpose?
Well, I think that's a part of the question. Is a part of that is the discussion. I see that as two-pronged. That's why I'm here today really asking people to vote yes on 10, because a part of this is our resources, just bottom line resources. And there's another broader issue, a public policy discussion about charter schools, because 7,000 children are opting out of the system, but it doesn't mean that CPS, and particularly our superintendent, is not responsible.
Right.
So she has to send $40 million a year to support those 7,000 children through charter schools. And that's why you hear this big discussion of, is that right? Is that acceptable? And that wasn't happening 10 years ago.
You're right.
So this is something that's different, and it's putting tremendous pressure on our CPS kids. The other 34,000 children that are in our schools are being impacted right now by charter schools.
All right, let's go back to the telephones. Eric, how are you?
All right, how are you doing, Lincoln?
Pretty good.
I really appreciate what you're doing with your life, President Smitherman.
Hey, thank you very, very much.
You're doing a fantastic job. I have a couple comments. Basically, what's being done as far as the curriculum in the public school system? As far as when I was coming up through school, we had all these different shop classes that taught us trades or introduced us to trades.
You're talking about like the quarter techs, and even in the regular school they had print class, wood shop, electric shop. Yeah.
Right. And I know that's no longer in existence in most of our public schools. my idea is this: is that I don't hear a lot about the entrepreneur spirit as far as in the black community contributing to the curriculum in our public schools. And I'm thinking that it would be a very good idea that if some of the members of our society, as far as black entrepreneurs, donated some time to go into the schools and set up shop, you know, at their cost, not at the school's cost, or even maybe allow the school to set up some type of contract with them to do so, and therefore receive some type of payment or just based on advertisement to boost the skill level of our children, because our children are coming out of those high schools.
Eric, I hear what you're saying, Eric. We got to run. I know what you're saying.
Vocational education is very, very important. And this is why the NAACP is talking about, again, adopting a school, because we want to be on record and we want to be tested. You know, people talk a lot. So we have now we have just about 1,700 members. So can 1,700 members go and adopt a school and then see, can we turn around test scores? You saw what happened at Taft. You know, Taft really showed up here with Cincinnati Bell, Lincoln, where 100% of their kids passed the exam, just like Clark and just like Walnut Hills. So we know that if we invest in our children, that they're going to perform. This levy, I'm coming back to that, which is 10, I'm urging people who are listening to me, who trust my leadership, will say they'll vote yes on 10. We've got to get this one passed.
All right, we've got just a few more minutes left. Let's go to Liz. Liz, real quick.
Good morning. Thank you, Lincoln, for having President Smitherman on and talking about this topic. I just wanted to follow up on the parent issue. Thank you again, President Smitherman, for bringing up that issue. And I just wanted to state that I tutor in Cincinnati Public Schools on a regular basis, and although the students are sent to school and are expected to be taught things, it's very important for parents to understand they're only in school 6.5 hours a day. So there is time at home where they need to be responsible for making sure their children are doing drill and practice on their multiplication tables. Liz, that they're taking time out to read.
You're absolutely right. I'm out of time, Liz, but that's a great question. She's right.
I mean, teaching in schools does not take out parenting.
Right.
It's not a replacement for parenting. It's not babysitting that's happening at our schools. So there has to really be, in my opinion, a major shift, Lincoln, on how African-American parents, I'm talking about African-American parents right now. Now, Euler down in Lower Price Hill is the only high school and the high school that's on stilts. I don't know the name of that school, but it's down near Lunken Airport. Those are the only two high schools that are on academic emergency. But the bottom.
Was that Clark?
No. It's a river. Okay. I can't name the school, but it's on stilts down there. Okay. There are two high schools that are on academic emergency. But still, the point is, Lincoln, the caller is right. The parents have to roll their sleeves up with their children and engage the accountability. The kids are only there for 6 hours.
Right.
We have about 1,100 teachers out there who might be watching this show today. Every teacher should be voting yes on 10. Every friend of the CPS, if you know someone, if you've been touched by CPS, you should vote yes on 10. If you're a graduate of Woodward, or you're a graduate of the School for Creative and Performing Arts, you should be voting yes on issue 10.
Chris,
that's really the bottom line here.
I think we're just about out of time, but it's always a pleasure to have you here. And
I'll be back for the national convention.
There you go. All right, we'll get you back in.
Thank you so much, Lincoln, for the time.
All right, we're going to wrap things up, come back with the talk of the town, and see if that shark is ready over there with Walt Scarborough. Thank you, Chris Smitherman. We'll take a quick break, and we'll return to Lincoln Ware Live after these messages. Live, Lincoln Ware Live is the program. I don't know which camera I'm on. There we see a light. There we go. And we got the shark meat is just about ready. And coming up at noon today, Armor Infinity. That's at noon today on Channel 38. A rebroadcast of this show tonight at 8 o'clock on WOTH. And at 9 o'clock, the Year of the Yowl, following the rebroadcast of this show on Channel 25. And don't forget, you can log on to WPQC.com to see a rebroadcast of this show at any time. And these spices are killing me up here. And I tell you, there's something else. Even Walt is coughing. But it's great. And I've got this shark meat. I've been wanting to taste this shark meat forever. And, oh, it's good.
Jaws.
Shark.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's great, I tell you. All right. Don't forget, February 1st and 2nd, Mainstrasse, the Mardi Gras over in Kentucky. Tickets are $10, and you can pick them up. Where can they pick them up?
They can pick them up at Mainstrasse Village, or either they can order them online.
And Walt Scarborough, his number 225-1137. If you need him to cater an event for you, he can definitely put it together. I don't know how much time I have left. Oh, about a minute. Okay, don't forget to join me Monday through Friday, 12:30, The Buzz. I'm on from 10 a.m. until 2, a new time, 10 to 2, Monday through Friday on 12:30, The Buzz. Make sure you tune in and check me out every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 12:30, The Buzz. And this, they're killing me up here. This is great, this spicy food. Now, look at this plate here. Can you get a shot of that plate? Man, oh man. Oh, that looks good. I tell you. We're going to do some great eating here today. As soon as the show is over, the crew, they left their positions. They're gone. No one's in the studio now. They're all over here ready to eat. Unbelievable. It's great, Walter. And we will see you February 1st and 2nd at the Mardi Gras. And get those beads together because who knows?
Lincoln's coming home.
Oh, yeah. Some of those women would do anything to get some of those beads over there. I witnessed that firsthand here this morning, let me tell you. All right. That's going to wrap it up for Lincoln Ware Live. Don't forget, tune in next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on It's 38. And it's killing me up here. We'll see you next week, 10 o'clock.